Hey, it's Pierre. I got a review today of the 2017 Dunlop Evolution Pro. This is part of their Hyperfibre Plus range. So it's the Dunlop Hyperfibre Plus Evolution Pro. This has got an advertised weight of 120 grams. And on my scale, that's the frame weight, 120 grams. And on my scale, the all-in weight, just like this, is about 153 and a half grams. It has got on my balance beam a balance point of, it was 35 centimeters, which is pretty head light. And this is the Nick Matthew signature frame, and not just his signature, but the one he's been playing with for years. This exact model, I believe, is the one he actually uses, and in prior variations as well. This Evolution model he's been using, as have other pros. So the Dunlop cosmetics for 2017 are looking nice. We got sort of a blue, kind of a navy blue, light blue, and a green color scheme. All their Hyperfibre rackets this year are looking, have a good design. Done Hydromax Pro grip, and their strings are the Great White factory strings. So I've been hitting with this for a couple of weeks now, and I have some feedback for you. So the prior model of this, the Evolution, or it was called the it was the Evolution 120. I forget what they called it, the last model. That previous model I did not really get along with. I didn't really feel a whole lot of power with it. I couldn't get enough power with it, but this model, on the other hand, I had a much more satisfying time with. It's headlight, but I felt that it was easy to maneuver, but I also felt it didn't feel like a whippy sort of racket. It feels very solid. When you take your shot, the frame feels strong and stiff, and at least through the head and up in here. But you still, it's very light, especially through it feels lighter through the throat and the shaft. So you can, which is odd. I almost am surprised by how headlight it is on the scale. It feels like it's just got a little bit of. It feels like it feels heavier in the head than it really is on the scale. But it's still, so it's got this kind of interesting combination. It's light, it is maneuverable, but you still feel like you're getting a nice cut through the ball. And it was a powerful racket, and I enjoy hitting with it. And I don't know exactly, I wish I had the prior model to compare to figure out where that difference is. I don't know whether it's some of the Hyperfibre, they always come out with a new technology. Maybe this is, they've used this to kind of made it a little stiffer, perhaps. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's something in the strings that, either the tension or the stock strings, but I don't think they've changed. So anyway, I had a really good hit with this one, and I'm going to compare it real quick to the one I just reviewed, the Hyperfibre Revolution. Sorry, I keep doing that. Revelation Pro, Ollie Frog. Evolution Pro, Nick Matthews. So these have a different frame shape in the sense that they're both teardrop and actually fairly similar shape overall. Just the Nick Matthew one has got this sort of small traditional throat shape, but it's still kind of mostly teardrop, I guess you could say. The Nick Matthew on my scale was actually a couple grams heavier all in than the Hyperfibre model, but much head lighter. Interestingly, these both had a really nice feel. If you see the review for Hyperfibre for the Revelation Pro, I get that same feeling of solidity as I'm hitting the ball in both of these rackets. And the Hyperfibre one, I think I mentioned in that video, error message here. I think I mentioned in that video that my arm was sort of getting tired towards the end of the match. That didn't happen with this Dunlop, so and I think it's obviously not the weight because they're about the same. Maybe even this was a gram or two heavier, but I think that's just the lighter head was a bit more easier to play with over the long haul of a match. So overall, I think this was very enjoyable. The Dunlop Hyperfibre Plus Evolution Pro.